And we're live. Hi, Amanda. Thank you so much for joining us for the webinar today. I'm so happy to have you here.
I'm so excited to be here. So I already told my friends or people on my social media that they're welcome to be a fly on the wall when we have our conversations, at least the serious ones.
That's very important, the serious ones. So, yes,
Serious ones.
welcome to another session of Halisi's Business Leaders webinar. As you know, Halisi Consults is a business consulting company and business development company that helps small businesses and startups launch, grow, and thrive with business plans and marketing strategies and fundraising services. So today we have Amanda Etuk, who is the co-founder of Messenger. Messenger is a supply chain logistics company operating in Lagos, Nigeria, and Abuja, Nigeria, serving $1 million clients. For example, Jumia, Grid.
It's good that you're mentioning because we have two of our customers have actually been in the news in the last couple of weeks. We've had
Wow.
Omnibiz that just raised. I'm not sure how much that was, how many zeros that was. That's for Omnibiz, and one of our other clients, ShopX, raised a few months ago. So we're in good company, just to mention. But
That's nice. So the raising energies in the environment.
well, we can go a bit Christian and just say that when God is visiting your neighbors, you're likely to be next. So
Your next.
fingers crossed, praying to God, all the good energy just for that to happen.
Alrighty. I hope it happens soon. I'm rooting for you. Well done, babe.
Thank you.
Just to mention, Amanda was recently awarded as one of the finalists for African Business Heroes. I have to mention it because it's a very big deal. Out
Thank
of
you.
how many thousands of applications?
21,000 applications out of
How many?
21,000 applications. Yes.
How
So
many?
21,000.
Out of 21,000 applications, Amanda was one of the top 50 African Business Heroes finalists in Africa in 2022. So it's very fresh. So round of
Very fresh.
applause for my babe. Well done, babe. I'm so proud of
Thank
you.
you. Thank you so much.
You are
So I'll just allow Tolani introduce the session, but I just want to say that, that application, I wasn't expecting it. And at the same time, it's such a huge honor. And then to be reminded by friends and loved ones that, what a big deal it is. So you have to take your flowers, while you appreciate the milestones
your
while you're
flowers when they're
when
fresh.
they're fresh. Don't wait for, remember that year when this thing happened to me. So yes, we're grateful now.
That's great. Great news all around. So yeah, let's just get right into the gist of the webinar. So tell us a bit about Amanda Etuk and how you got to this point that you became the co-founder of Messenger.
Okay. So I'll just start by saying that I had a conversation with, would I say, an acquaintance or someone I newly met. And the person said, share with me your social media handle. And obviously, that's the first thing you do when you meet people these days before any complimentary card. Like, well, let me see your LinkedIn or let me see your Instagram. So basically, this person went and scrolled down to the very beginning of my post. I think he wanted to have a sense of who I was. And there was something that he said that was very striking in the conversation, that I've basically been the same person through the
Wow.
years. So it seems that even though the path was not clear for me, um, I've basically been the same person. So my philosophy has been the same. My principles have been the same. Um, I'm mentioning that because Tolani asked, how did I get from where I was to Messenger? So I feel like at the core, who I am is a person of service. I know that you would hear that basically in a church or somewhere, but my goal in life, my like I say my I don't even know how to, my whole ethos is about helping people. So that's the first thing about me. So if you go through even my social media, it would have been through philanthropy with Jesse and Ruben Foundation, or it would have been with Stay Healthwise, or it would have been about different things I was trying to do. So the goal of everything I'm about is about how to create convenience for other people, how to be a part of helping someone else's success story. I know I mentioned to someone before that I don't know if I'm supposed to be a CEO, or basically I don't know if I'm just supposed to support the vision of other people. So I'm mentioning that because it's important to know that where we're supposed to go to is all, the answer lies in our journey as well.
Yep.
So you might not see it immediately, but once you start to piece the pieces of the puzzle, you see that at the core there's a message or there's a theme for everyone's life or what it is that they're supposed to be doing. So that brings me to what Messenger is. I'm the co-founder of Messenger. Messenger is an order fulfillment and last mile logistics service operating in the cities of Abuja and Lagos, Nigeria. When I say order fulfillment and last mile, basically we make it easy for businesses, people like you and I, even people on Instagram selling shoes, even companies like Omnibase, which is one of our clients, to deliver their items, their goods, their product services directly to their consumer. So as a business, you see that as you focus on what your focus is, you cannot do every single part. And Messenger is supposed to help you make it easier for you to serve your customers. So at the end of the day, my mission is sort of the mission of my company. And Messenger, at the end of the day, we make it easy for companies to set up in cities where they do not operate without having the high cost of setup. So if you, for instance, we have a warehouse in Abuja. If you wanted to deliver same day to all your clients in Abuja, you simply warehouse with us, would process your orders, pick, pack, and deliver within 24 hours to your customers. That beats the cost of setting up a branch in Abuja. That beats the cost of paying for rent in another place, paying staff salaries, all of that. So that's something that Messenger is able to do for you. So another thing that we do is that we act as 3PL partners to a lot of organizations, meaning that we offer dedicated logistics services. So yes, another reason why I really like this is that apart from being a good friend of mine, Tolani is also a client. She's a customer. And I've
Yeah.
also been a customer to Tolani at several times, depending on the business that she's running at the time.
Let's see your
So
face.
I've just not been a Halisi customer yet, but I was a company that I don't know if I should mention right now.
You can't
You
go
know,
for it.
you've done business development for quite some time. So Tolani in 2013, she was working at this company called Hero 78.
Mm-hmm.
So I was one of Tolani's customers when I was trying to do business development for my then project, which was Stay Health Wise. So I've been a client to Tolani. Tolani has also been my client. So this is one of the things that I really like about our friendship, how we can go beyond having our, regular casual conversations to actually putting money in each other's pockets. So that's something I really appreciate. And I
Doing
have to mention
serious
that
business.
on the call now. A lot of people say people don't patronize you and they're your friends, but I'm collecting Tolani's money on a monthly
And
basis.
I'm collecting Amanda's money too very
Like,
soon.
so I just have to just mention there that, so that's one of the things that we're doing. So we take off some of the burdens with logistics. And I know that a lot of people complain so much about their delivery services, and there's only so much of us to go around.
Yeah.
But I can say that with our customers, we have at least a 70% customer satisfaction, which is not even easy to achieve in Nigeria. So that's just a bit about Messenger. We're on Instagram at messenger.ng. We'll also have a website. It's getmessenger.ng. I've been talking a lot for the past couple of days, either on Get Equity or even on my LinkedIn about Messenger. So anytime you need to know anything about Messenger, any of those pages, LinkedIn, Instagram, the website, my page, my personal page, because I'm an evangelist for my business. So yes, you can learn all you need to know about Messenger right there. So I'll let Tolani take it up from here.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much for that. And well done on everything, Messenger. I remember when you started out, it was, just a couple of bites, and you were
Yeah,
just starting this thing, and you were like, oh, and you were like, okay, you just want to see where we go. And look at you now. I mean, massive operation, employing almost 100 people in 2 states with warehouses. I don't know, that's a lot of work, and I'm very proud to say that I saw the beginning of this journey, and I'm happy seeing the progress, and I know that you're still going to go further. So yeah, well done, babe.
thank you so much for that vote of confidence. And again, sometimes you just need people to remind you who you are and what it is exactly that you're doing. It's easy to miss out the big things because you're so focused on the grind,
The
basically.
grind, yeah, it happens. It happens to the best of us.
The grind.
Anyway, Messenger has evolved over the years, spreading operations from Lagos to Abuja. And I think you guys do interstate sub for some clients, yes?
Well, to be honest, we tried interstate, but it's not something that we offer. It's not one of our. We just want to stick to last mile,
That's
basically.
fine. Okay, great. So and you also added other solutions, which is the warehousing, which is all of a sudden a big need for a lot of growing e-commerce businesses, growing businesses generally need warehousing solutions, which is sort of like what Amazon offers in the UK, the US, and all these other big markets. And I honestly haven't really heard of anyone doing warehousing in Nigeria. I mean, except for you guys.
Oh, we
Uh,
do have competitors that offer that exact service. I'll just not plug them
so
in here.
mention
They're a
the
lot bigger, so find them by yourself. But basically, it's a market need that is growing. As long as the rate of unemployment continues to grow, people are going to trade. And
name.
then even people who are currently employed are underemployed, or they're not earning enough to meet their needs. So basically, you're going to have a side of hustle.
Yeah.
You're most likely going to be in your 9 to 5 office, and you might have a side hustle. So are you going to be taking calls from customers in those times? Are you going to be packaging your deliveries or taking your stuff to the office?
No.
Probably not. Most likely not ideal. So that's where companies like Messenger come in terms of order fulfillment. So it might sound like a fancy term, but it's just a way to sort the logistics aspect of your business. So if you're sure of your SKUs and you have a smooth ordering process, definitely warehouse and let us handle your deliveries. Our slogan actually is you can trust us with your deliveries. That's our slogan. It's been our slogan since 2018. So basically that's what the order fulfillment aspect is like. So for last mile, the regular, ride hailing, same as delivery hailing, just let us know if you have a delivery, we come pick it up. And then I'll just mention, Tolani has mentioned how our services have evolved. And I think I have to mention this as a top customer retention strategy. So one of my mentors, my biggest mentor always says, you're only as rich as the people's problems that you're solving. I believe that Kabir Shakaya said that. But one of the things about that basically is that as your customers continue to grow, you should also be able to grow in capacity to meet their needs. So we started as I have a delivery, please come pick up my sandals to deliver to this person. And then we have these businesses that are now growing. So for example, we're handling last mile for someone in Lagos. And he said, oh, Amanda, how can I make sure that my items get to my customers within 24 hours? We're about to start Black Friday and then it's going to be Christmas. So at that time, I had no warehouse. I was thinking of outsourcing this business to another company. And he asked me directly, you have the solution, you've explained to me how it works. So really, really, why can't you offer this service? So you
Wow.
can imagine within a short period of time, I think this was, to be sure, maybe September of last year, we had to rent a warehouse, get pallets, get everything, set up a full functioning warehouse. And I have to mention that the first location that we selected was not up to standard for our customer. So you can imagine, like, that's why I mean that the first customer retention strategy is that you have to grow with your customers. You cannot always remain the mushroom company that they use for their small orders or their small businesses. You have to be able to expand to their growing needs. So that was how we basically got the first location. Our client did not okay it. We had already paid for a short period of time for that location. Um, we had to change to a more ideal setting. Got inspected, it was approved. Everything had to move really, really quickly. So I'm just explaining this process to you because if we were not able to make that decision or take that step, then we would not be able to serve that customer to the best of, to the extent that they needed us. So they needed last mile, but now they've gotten order processing last mile. Now we're connected to their ERP system. So I would say that if you are not growing with their customer, you're leaving money on the table. Number one. Number two, you would very soon be relegated. So yes, you can be a favorite, but how far can they go with you? That's
Wow.
how
That's
far
pretty
can they go
cool.
with you? That's so
So
that's
effectively, you're saying, as your business is growing, you're providing services to a customer, you're selling a product to a customer. As the customer is growing, you have to grow as well. So
yes.
you have to make sure that you're reinvesting in your business to be able to serve your customers' needs as their businesses are growing.
Yes. You also have to, in some cases, anticipate their need. So basically, I would mention that this customer that I had proposed this solution of order fulfillment to, I had gone in as a consultant on their logistics issues. And I said, okay, this is the best way and this is the most cost effective way that you can do this. So I had anticipated or had created a solution to a problem that I wasn't even fulfilling yet.
Hmm.
So after providing that solution, then I had to step up and, increase the capacity of the business to
And
be
be the
able to
solution.
to provide that solution. So whatever business that you're doing, there's always a step further to go. There's always another level to to
Mm.
get on. And sometimes you even have to be the ones to propose this business to your customer. And that's just one example, but I'll mention another example that was sort of like a different service. So I had another customer. If you know me very well, I wear braids a lot. So there's a customer that I was first a client because I love their services so much and I am a very impatient person. So they're located in Port Harcourt. So another reason, this is another strategy without really, giving steps. So I always ordered this braids from Sack Hairs on Instagram. And then I always see wait 3 to 4 days for DHL to deliver. And first of all, I am very impatient and highly irritable from time to time. So I'm like, well, I want to braid my hair today. I want to braid my hair today. Best I can do is tomorrow. Why do I have to wait 3 to 4 days? So that was my first complaint. Why am I waiting 3 to 4 days just to braid my hair?
Mhm.
Like, so that was my first irritation. Why am I waiting 3 to 4 days? I'd already harassed their customer service, and I was just like, you know what? Give me your MD's phone number. Yes, I'm a bit extra. And then I was like, okay, please, where is your factory located? I'm in Lagos. I'm trying to do my hair, and the color I want is not in Lagos, and I want to do it tomorrow morning. This was obviously the day before. Then she
Mhm.
said, okay, you know what I can do? I would get it down to you express because you are a valued customer and you always come back. And then after that, I went back to her and said, okay, this is all well and good for me, but can we create a solution for Abuja? Can I have some of your stock in Abuja that customers like me can also, be able to buy on the spot rather than waiting 3 to 4 days? So
Wow.
that's a customer retention strategy, and then it worked out. And why I mentioned this particular instance is this vendor was then moving to Lagos, and she said, "Okay, you know what? We're moving to Lagos now, and we're going to come to you for warehousing and all of that." And I said, "Okay, no, let me hear what your business idea is." I said, "Okay, we're setting up a factory, we're doing this, and we're doing that." And I said, "Okay," and I said, "Okay, you know what? Instead of that, why don't we create a daily logistics schedule for all your deliveries?" So
Wow.
that's another thing that you have to consider. There's no one size fits all solution for your customer, and I
Customer.
think a real way to actually build your customer retainership or even to retain customers is for you yourself to take yourself through the customer journey. See
Mm.
yourself through that other business's eyes. So I could propose solutions because I understood what it was to be that client's customer, and then I understood the pain points in their business. So I'm not saying that you should, spend all your money patronizing all your vendors, but it's very good for you to experience, depending on the type of business you're doing. If, for example, you're into digital marketing, you have to look at their ads, see what attracted you to that ad, and then be able to pinpoint the things that are attractive. So even if you're pitching to a brand and say, okay, I saw your ad on this, this is what made me click. This is what I think that we can expand on, and we can build a strategy for the next 3 months. And when you say that, the brand that you're pitching to knows that you have an understanding of their business the beyond the how do I put it, the flaw. So anyone can come with a marketing strategy, but if you're able to say this is this and this is why, this is what attracted me, this is what I like, and you can talk from the angle of what a customer sees or the whole customer journey, then they trust you more to give you their business. And if you can say, okay, let's have a 3 month strategy, so you basically retain that customer for three
Yeah.
months. You've kept the person on your books for 3 months. You could have done, oh, let me run ads for you. You will see the results in 30 days. But you've now kept the customer longer because you have detailed a customer journey from what is attractive about this to what they can build or capitalize on. So those are like essential things, towards building.
Essential retention strategies.
Yeah.
I have to agree with you on that one that sometimes customers don't essentially see what you see, especially when you're the one, trying to pitch a service. So you had to approach it from, a solution driven angle in the sense that you're coming to help, you're coming to provide a solution and make their life and the life of their customers easier. So yeah, I completely agree with what you said about that. And I think it's a strategy that we employ at Halisi ourselves. So essentially you have to be able to preempt your customers' needs before they even realize
Yes.
that they need these solutions. So That being said, I want to ask. I mean, now you've spoken about two customers. You've spoken about the customer that led you to create a warehouse solution in Lagos, and the customer that you created warehouse solution for in Abuja. So I want to talk about your really big customers. What was, how did you catch your biggest whale? You personally, like what did you do? What were the
Okay.
steps?
So I'm trying to be as relatable as possible on this, so that I don't want this to be an aspire to perspire podcast, or
But
video
it's
webinar.
but
I It's necessary sometimes, but I think that we have to see ourselves in what we're talking about to other people, so you know that it can work for you. Okay, so we have a number of big clients that I would mention. So we're the second largest 3PL for Jumia Food in the city of Abuja. The second one also is Omnibase Africa. We also handle their deliveries in Abuja. Um, One of my other, we worked briefly with Glovo in Lagos. We're working with Glovo in Abuja as well. We're currently working with Medbury Medicals. Let me see who else is there. Are lots of big people. So please, if I forget somebody, so we work with Fedsense, Zyka as well. So I've mentioned some of our really big customers, and I would say that let me start with I'll mention, let's say, opening base, for instance. So everything you do leads up to the next thing that you're going to do.
yep.
That's number one. Sorry, it's cliche, but sometimes you're going to need the strength of referrals and recommendations to actually get you work and to actually get you jobs. So, for example, I could walk into a meeting and say, okay, you know what, I've started this business, we offer this and that in Abuja. I think we can do this and this and that. And the person would give you a listening ear because they've seen what you've done with another project, or basically with another brief.
Mm.
So that's one thing. So you have to deliver to get a referral to get the next thing. And you don't know where your will is coming from. Like Tolani said, oh, this is like your will, like your biggest client. And then I'll say, so that's for one client. And I don't like to say this, but do you know that one of our biggest clients, we just got that from shooting our shot?
How? Please explain to us.
Okay, so in 2018, we were just, it was the same, we're just few months into our operations when somebody approached us from Jumia and asked if we could do this. And what did we say? Yes, we can. Yes,
Wow.
yes, we can do this. We can offer this and this and this and this. And I have to say, one of my skills is I am a salesperson.
Mm-hmm.
So you might say that's not your skill, but it's my skill. I'm a salesperson. I'm good at closing things, and even if you're not, maybe sell the story to yourself till you're good at it. So we were able to close that deal within the first year, within 90 days of our operations as a business. So
Wow.
basically,
Amazing.
so it will be 5 years of working with Jumia in February next year. Would have been working with them for five
Wow.
years.
It's been five
So
years.
that was like a baptism of fire to understanding e-commerce and everything, uh, everything
I
e-commerce.
mean, now you can replicate those lessons for other
Yes, you
businesses.
can, and you can also you would see certain things that you had not known at the beginning that you can use to make your contracts tighter, use them as stop gaps for your business. It was easy. Also, I have to. It's no fun being the first person to do something. So don't think that a lot of people focus on first mover advantage, but do you know the people who really have the advantage?
Cool.
Second movers. They can see all your mistakes and just decide decide to do away with certain things. So I would have to say that that whole experience prepared other e-commerce businesses coming into the market. It also helped other logistics companies have leverage. Also ask for certain things that maybe at the beginning, when we're very excited about this offer, that would never have crossed our minds to ask. But I have to mention, even though I'm a salesperson personally, my co-founder is an operations person. So even if I sell something to you and I forget to tell you all the T's and C's and all the terms, all the little tiny footnotes, very sure that you'll be hearing from HCN about the terms and conditions. But by then we're good friends, so we're moving ahead. So so basically that's one of the things I'll say. Shooting your shots, you never know. You would get responses from people. A lot of our business has come from referrals, people who have worked with me in some capacity in the past.
Yeah.
So, like I said before, it's helping people. So before I turn down something or before I say something is impossible, I must have completely stretched the business to the limit. myself. So that's why many people are comfortable referring opportunities to me.
Okay. Amanda, I think your network is a bit shaky. Is it just me? Or yeah, Amanda's having network issues. Let's give her a minute to resolve. Yeah. Anyway, so just
Can
to
you hear?
yes, your network is a bit shaky, babe. Do you wanna restart your connection and let's go again?
No, it's not just you. I've noticed the Nigerian
I
factor.
can hear you
Hold
now.
on.
Yeah, Nigerian factor, as always.
Okay, Nigerian factor. So you can tell who's in the UK and who's not. Okay,
I mean, I can hear you, but I can't. Okay, I can see you now.
very good now.
Yes. Anyway,
Okay,
what
so
were
where do we
we?
stop?
We were talking about your will, your biggest will. You said that you guys landed Jumia 90 days into operations when you started the business. Like they literally just walked in the door and asked if you could do this, and you guys just said yes, and you took the opportunity and you went for
Yeah.
it. And then you also started telling us about first mover advantage. Well, it's not. I honestly agree with you 100% because I don't really believe in first mover advantage. I don't think it's an advantage. I mean, you'll be the first. You have the brand name, and you were the first to do it. But the second person is going to come in and reap the rewards of your labor, literally. Because the first mover into any new market, the first thing you're going to do, you have to start educating people on how you do business, how your business works, how they should work with you, and all of that. You want to spend so much time and money educating your clients, and somebody's going to wait for you to do all of that for 6 months, and then come in and steal all those clients. So I
Well,
don't.
you
I
said that. I didn't even know that what I was saying, was connected. But I would say that that was a strategy that we also used to launch Messenger. So we were not exactly the first, but we launched in February 2018 around Valentine's Day. So we're basically waiting for people to fuck up so that we'll do their deliveries. So
oh my
So that was the strategy for our customer acquisition. Basically, we picked a calendar, a time in the calendar. We picked February, Valentine's Day. It was 2018. People didn't really have the pressures of the economy like that, so they were really still spending big to do Valentine's Day. And then there were a lot of disappointments. There were not as many logistics companies in Abuja at the time, and there were not a lot that were offering like errands as well. Like most people is like, oh, pick up from the store or buy this. But we were saying that we'll run your errands for you.
Mhm.
We're offering to do any and everything around Valentine's Day. And of course, a lot of people would have been fully booked. So there were people calling like, oh, are you still available? Can you still do this for me? And of course, what were we saying? Yes. So
Yes.
I'll mention now that 4 years on, we have some clients that have been with us since that our Valentine's Day
Wow. That
but
is a
our
very
Valentine's
good
strategy.
strategy.
Yes, so basically, we picked a time of the year where a lot of people are feeling sentimental. We picked a time where there's a lot of demand, where people will be overwhelmed. We decided to hone in at that time where people say, "Oh, I have enough business. I don't think I can accept this customer." So that was where we came in. And then another thing about business is that I understand that a lot of people don't like to turn down customers because if they go somewhere else, sometimes it might be hard to pull them back.
Put them back, yes. You're gonna lose
So
cost.
yeah, so once you lose a customer for whatever reason, if someone just provides a small, slightly more convenient option, they will most likely take it. So consumers are not loyal, but you just have to stay, true to your principles, your focus, and your game. So basically, I'll mention now that we've had clients for over 4 years. There's a 191 gift box on Instagram. You can check them out. They do really nice gift packages and stuff. I don't know if they're still doing that line of business, but they're definitely on Instagram. Then there's GMK turbans. You'll be surprised that lots of people are buying headgear and like cover ups and stuff like that, even during that season. And then we have a food business, obviously. So people that were doing trays and baskets and things for their loved ones, we were already cashing in on that. So another thing that we did is, Asen and I were very keen on, representing or serving people that are not even within Abuja. So we had a friend who we knew had like a couple of dates in Abuja. And we're like, guy, you're not around, but how are you doing Valentine's Day? Do you want us to go shopping for you? We can we can give you options and deliver as well in these packages. So we did all of that. So we actually, presented like, oh, we can get this. This is like a Valentine's Day shop. Okay, I'm picking this, and that. And then obviously I bought a special cute basket and I put everything together. And the guy saw one and he was like, "Ah, great! Can you do two more?" Like, so
So
so stuff like
literally,
that.
you had to be innovative at that point.
Yeah. So I'm not in the gifting business. I'm not in anything, but just seeing like basically capturing a season is another thing that is good for customer retention. I don't know if we were very clear about that, but you have to use seasonal moments to capture customers. You see that even the likes of manufacturers like flour mills of Nigeria, basically they have a package for when it's Christmas time or when it's salad
Yeah.
time with like
Yes.
sachet of their products in a carton.
Mm-hmm.
So people are always innovating like that. Maybe when you try the things in the carton, you might start using the oils. Maybe you're not very familiar with the oil before, but it's in a carton. You've used it. There was nothing wrong with it. Maybe it's even slightly cheaper than your preferred brand, but this does the work. So after
Yep.
receiving those sachets or whatever, you're going back the next time and you're patronizing that customer. So I think I talked about two things: capitalizing on seasons to get your customers, and also the strategy is also to capture excess demand. So sometimes you don't always have to go into competition with people.
Yeah.
You can also work side by side with them. We have also been on the other end of the table for those conversations when we've had like excess capacity or rather excess demand, and we've had to speak to other logistics companies to say, okay, oh, please can you do this for me? So it depends also on what your strategy is and what you're willing to offer at the time.
Okay. So I have a question. So I mean, I get all things you said. The strategies you've said are quite insightful. You used a busy period or a period where you knew that your services will be very much demanded, and I know how hectic Valentine's Day can get in any major city. So
Yeah.
you use a period that your services will be in high demand to launch and to also show that you are reliable, and that helped you secure clients who have become essentially lifetime clients with you. And then you also didn't say no to big opportunities like Jumia walking in your door and say, "Oh, do you want to do this for us?" That is literally the definition of you were asked to be on a space shuttle and you just said yes without thinking,
Yeah.
with no astronaut training. You got on.
Yeah.
And you're still, I mean, and you've managed to, you've not managed, you've secured a customer, they're your lifetime customer at this point. So, and my next question is this: when you do have customers that, okay, you have secured them and then issues arise, you have customer service is difficult, and customers will definitely have a problem with one thing or the other. I mean, you can't satisfy everybody. You are not ice cream and you are not Santa Claus. um so how do you resolve issues to ensure in a way that ensures that customers stay on? It'd be a good moment to mention that I've seen you do this before, and I'm just wondering how you did that, because personally, I know the kind of business that you operate. Logistics is very hectic. It is one of the most difficult businesses to do in Nigeria. Everyone thinks you can just buy a bike and just pay whatever.
Actually, by the
You can buy a bike and pay whatever fee, but the actual business of operating, logistics in Nigeria is incredibly difficult. And I know for a fact because I have worked with logistics companies for my e-commerce brand, and I have sacked so many people. And I'll just one day say, you know what, I'm not using you anymore. And I was just like, I'm not doing this again, because it is hard to operate. It's hard to manage. It's either you know it or you don't know it. And Amanda knows it. So I want to hear
way.
from you. How do you manage customers' issues and still retain the customer?
Okay, so I would say that sometimes, well, I just read Anita's comment, and yes, putting yourself in the customer's shoes really helps. But there are also times where serving the customer also comes with operating at a loss. So before, like I mentioned before I cancel any customer or anybody, I know that I've been fully stretched to the limit, and it's something that is totally impossible. So first of all, the best thing you have to do with maybe trying to retain a difficult customer is do your best. Do your best. Do your best at the beginning. Do your best all the times that you can, because there are times where you would now ultimately mess up. So what it does is that at least you can buy some good graces at that time that your customer is a bit understanding. And why I mentioned do your best, I've not talked about doing any discounts. I've not talked about doing any apologies, because um, Ethan and I have also learned some difficult lessons in this regard. So we try to do customer experience as best as we can. I'm more giving with my customers than my COO is. He's very to the books, and he's not very. You not get as many freebies as you probably get with me. But the thing is, there was a valuable lesson we learned. So there was a particular customer just around lockdown. We're giving them bulk pricing. We had reduced the price of their deliveries. We're even like assigning more than one rider to that particular business. And then guess what? After we had slashed our profits, after we had provided everything that we thought, this customer just came to us one time and said, okay, one of their MD's friends has just bought a bike, so that's what they're going to be using for the business.
What? What?
Yeah.
So is
So
that a lesson in not bending over for your client, not being not want to go above and beyond, or is that like what happened after that?
It's double fold. So it's a lesson for customer retention. So first of all, please go above and beyond for your customers when you can afford to. When you're not running at a loss, when you're obviously your obligations are being met, do that. Do not go into a loss to serve any customer. I'll just say that, because while we are done all of that, at the end of the year, you're transacting with human beings who also purchase based on emotions and make other decisions based on other factors beyond how good you serve. So if you
Mhm.
have an SOP of how you're supposed to operate and you do your best when you're supposed to, then keep it like that. Let them be as much as possible a standard way of operating across board, so people know that when they come to you, what this is what they get. So it also helps you filter people who are your customers in the first place, because there are lots of customers that you would go above and beyond, and they might just not pick you. So you
Hmm.
need to have, I would say, is a customer retention strategy. Have a process. Have a process. Let it be like when someone is craving debonaires, exactly how debonaires taste, so they're going to go for that thing. You might think it's boring, but as your business becomes more stable, you need to adopt that same approach. So obviously, at the beginning or at the time that we felt like we really needed to hold on to this customer, we're ready to do everything, but at the end of the day, that didn't work out properly for us. But the beauty of life, this
What's it?
is over a year later. The customer, obviously, that person's business, I'm not praying for the downfall of anyone's business, but that your guy's friend got tired of doing bike business. 1,000 every day was not cutting his money. So that's number one. Number two, we're still available, still open. Our services are still, open to this customer, and this person is back.
So they just came back with their tail in between their legs.
No hotel, just came back, booked an order, just processed it as usual. Then, well, I don't know if this person would listen to this, but maybe they will now know why we've not responded on certain things. But we've now been operating for a number of months, and then this customer comes back to say, "Oh, please, can we get a discount for this
No.
service?" How do
No.
you address that? But you want to keep this customer. There's so many logistics companies out there. What do you do?
What do you do?
Be loyal to your bottom line. Is it
Okay.
possible for me to do that? Can I serve this person? Are there other ways that I can provide value without reducing my price? So that's it. So it's just a lesson that sometimes, going above and beyond is great, or I had to say that story so people know that maybe when they offer a lot to customers and they don't get the results, they should just know that it's not just on you. It happens to the best of us. So I needed to bring out that strategy of having a clear process. So yes, you should go above and beyond for your customer, but it's within certain limits that you have set for the business. So if you have a discount system, you should also have maybe a band or like a target or a cutoff of how much discount you cannot give. So anyone, even within the organizations, can only give the discounts to that level
Yeah.
because you don't want to affect your bottom line trying to please the customer. So obviously there are some big ticket customers that you want on your books, but let this be a decision that you have made ahead of time, that you have planned for, and that
Mhm.
also in your projections. So I had to mention that in going above and beyond, have a bandwidth.
Yep. I completely agree with you. We had a similar situation last week at Halisi. So our business plan service has evolved over time. Our business plan service is our most demanded service. If we have 200 clients, probably 150 of them were business plan clients, or maybe 120. Um, so we had a customer that we served last year, sometime last year. At that point in time, our business plan service was priced 300,000 naira per. But the thing is, because I'm a savvy business owner, my business plan services are pegged against the dollar. And the naira, in all honesty, I am Nigerian, I'm patriotic, etc. But naira is failing. I'm not going to lose money because, of my mission. I do want to help small businesses. I do want to help startups grow. I do want to help, businesses become that the best that they can or grow and thrive in whichever way that that we can help. But I cannot do that to the detriment of my own life or to my own team that work for me, that that depend on the company making money or making profit. So this client came to us. We served them at 300,000 naira last year. But another business plan service is now 500,000 naira because the dollar and the naira have gone up. And people say, oh, why are you pricing in dollars? You live in Nigeria. Hello, our expenses are in dollars, whether we like it or not. We are a consuming nation. Nigeria is a consuming nation. We're not producing anything. Even the oil, we're not producing. So you have to
Unfortunately, I can't price in dollars. If not,
you can't. See, I'm actually going to get to that question for you because I know that your prices are actually the loveliest prices I've ever seen for last mile delivery. So this client came and said, oh, last year was this price. Why is it almost 100% increase in prices? I'm like, oh God, this is the situation. But at that point in time, I had to you know, make a minor sacrifice. So obviously we gave him a returning customer discount, because it's a substantial amount of money for a small business. But at the same time, I know that our ideal clients can afford it, so it's not a problem. So yeah, I made the concession, we gave a discount, and we moved on. So in that situation, yes, to keep that client, yes, because they're a returning client and money is money at the end of the day.
mm,
So, I guess that leads me to my next question for you. How do you maintain quality service in delivery despite the hike in prices of literally everything? How do you keep your prices lovely, and how do you maintain that quality? Because I do work with messenger, so I have an e-commerce business that is still budding, but we do good numbers. It's called Vape Lagos. Messenger Lagos handles my Vape Lagos deliveries in Lagos, and they do the deliveries in 24 hours. And I know that it's very hard because I've tried it with other logistics partners and it didn't really work. But they take the orders on time. Right now, they're even doing warehousing and fulfillment for us because I'm in England and the business is running and no issues whatsoever. And I know that the prices are like, because I've worked with other last mile delivery companies, and they'll be giving me different prices for different locations,
let me
and I'll
just say now, there is a Tolani price. There's
okay
a
before
friendship
I
price.
got too much.
Just so you know, so there's a friendship price, but I have to say that we're doing the volumes game, so
Yeah.
we can afford to maintain certain pricing because
Mhm.
of the volume of orders that we get. So a lot of people are pricing based on one-off deliveries, but we have volumes with certain of our customers, so we can use that as a leverage. So it's basically Well, yes, I used to do this consulting game before, but I was going to say, but yes, it's basically a volumes game for us at Messenger. So we're anticipating volumes, and then obviously encouraging the customer to do more business with us, so that we can in turn make more money. But if you are starting with a smaller fleet size, or a smaller capacity, it'll be very difficult to maintain those pricing because you might not be seeing your profit. So that's something to also mention. So but yes, we play the volumes game. And then quality of service, I would say this, that one of the things that I've seen as a big issue for businesses, especially SMEs, is how they structure their businesses, or how they start the business in the first place. So you start the business almost like we want to forever run it as a one-man business, or there's no room for people to feel like they're part of something. So that's the first thing I notice with people who run logistics. So for example, now, you would not imagine how important it is that your staff is paid on time. You get people's buy-in by just being able to be a reliable employer. So people can go to war for you. They know that certain benefits are attached for them. It gives a sense of ownership. So most of the people that have worked with me, I believe that I'm a fair employer of labor. Some people might disagree. I might be a fair employer, but I might be a difficult boss. But what I'm just trying to say is that people do better when there's a sense of ownership, when there's a sense of pride. So for Lagos, there are certain things that we might not be able to provide. But in Abuja, for instance, we have the right to own model. Any rider that has worked with us for over a year has a chance to own the assets that they're working with. So they become independent through our programs that we have for the riders. So basically, welfare is also an issue. We cover medical costs for our riders. So if you're, apart from covering the blood of Jesus, or God forbidding things, but if you're involved in an accident, we would pay your medical. But I'm mentioning a lot of these things. So we have good relationships with insurance. So there are a number of things that we put in place. And I got like a really nice message from one of my staff the other day that it was kind of touching for me. Just for this, I'm going to just read it out so people understand that sometimes it's not all about the horse and the whip, just go, get this done or something. You have to get your team's buy-in. So this is a message, I'm doing my own PR anyway. So it's good morning, Ma. Thanks so much for making us feel as if we are working with government, not a private person. Thanks, Ma, for answering us on time. As you put a smile on our face every end of the month, so shall God make a way for you in all your endeavors in Jesus' name. God bless.
Amen.
So you have
Amen.
to
That's
have
so sweet.
Yes, I know it was very touching for me because this was like a difficult month. It was my birthday, and I earmarked some funds for birthday enjoyment. But yeah, so basically,
I
so
know what
basically,
you
so
mean.
basically, like your staff needs to also feel like they're part of something bigger than what it is that they are. A lot of people do not have proper human resource policies in place. So
Yeah.
that's something that's very important to me. Like I've mentioned, like the who I am as a person has always been the core of who I am. I am determined that people leave me better off than they are. I might seem maybe stupid for doing that in the Nigerian sense of things, but I feel like I've gotten better outcomes with my staff than most people would with their logistics businesses. And riders are like the core of your business. Um, I'm not going to. I can't ride a bike. I'm not going to ride a bike, but I can at least motivate people to the point that they are able to carry out their duties Monday to Sunday if necessary. So those are some of the things that are necessary, that are important in starting up a service business.
I
If you have
100% agree with you.
unhappy staff, how are they going to properly cater to your customers? So there are
Yeah.
lots of, so in part of the customer retention, I think staff retention is also very important. Um, it's just something that comes hand in hand. If your staff is happy, if your staff is happy, they provide a better service to your customer. That's how I see it. It doesn't work all the time. It doesn't mean that I tolerate, slacking. People that work with me know that I could be a difficult boss because I, expect the best. But if you're able to create an enabling environment, you're most likely going to retain good workers who would then give their best to your customers.
I agree with you. You need to lay the foundation for internally for you to be able to serve your customers the best way. I mean, if you don't have a team that is happy or taking well taken care of, it's going to reflect in your customer service, and you're going to lose customers because what's going to happen is um your staff is not going to be happy with you, and it's going to reflect in their work. So it defeats the purpose of you retaining the customers in the first place. I have to say that I have dealt with logistics companies where the riders weren't 100% happy, and it affected the work, it affected the service that they provided
Oh, they're
for.
very quick to say they can do it for you privately. You
Yeah.
would have like your staff coming to undercut your business. You know, I have to mention this because I've gone to a particular place that I go to. Let's just say, for example, every month I go to a particular esthetician, and going there, even though yes, I get great service, but I now have staff offering me something cheaper than what maybe I would have gotten if I was attended to by the boss.
Mm-hmm.
So you also have you have to try as much as possible to create a balance where people know that the better the business does, the the better rewarded they're going to be. If
Definitely.
it's a failing business, nobody gets money, everybody goes home. So that sense of ownership is very important. If not, you're going to have your own staff bad mouthing your business to your customers so that they can maybe cut some deals on the side. So that's something, in this part of the world that you have to be very careful, have to watch out for. You
Yes.
can't prevent it entirely, but you can obviously stop it or stall that from happening.
Yes, I have to agree with you. I used to worry about that because when you run service businesses, it's like, okay, what is like, it's very easy for your staff, because I've seen it happen with other businesses where staff start offering, oh, I can do this as well, and I can do it for a cheaper rate to customers, to existing customers, and that is a problem itself. And Nigerians being Nigerians, we will not tell the business owner; they will just go ahead and take the discounted service, and then when things go awry or when things go bad is now when you now as the business owner start hearing that, oh, this is what happened, this is what happened. But that shouldn't be so. I feel like when you take care of your people, when you take care of your team, they in turn take care of you and take care of your customers as well, and that's what makes a business run. I think another point to note at this point is that you when you're building structure for your business, communication is very important. You need to communicate not just to the public but internally to your staff, and make them understand that this is what we're doing, this is what we're building, and this is why this business exists. And you are an important part of this business. I value you. Is there anything you want or need? Please feel free to come to me. If you communicate with them that this is what running a business takes, it's a cycle. The staff work for you, and then in turn you both work together to serve the client. And when the client does pay, everybody gets paid, everybody goes home happy. So
Yeah.
it's a system that works. So you have to communicate that to people, because sometimes staff don't understand that. They just see it as, oh, a guy is making a lot of money. But the honest truth is that might not be the case. Oga might not be making a lot of money. What might be is, Oga, I mean, we are business owners, so we understand how it is that you make a lot of sacrifices in your business. When I mean, today was salary day, and you just see your accounts just drain when salaries are being paid. And you could have some business owners go. I've seen business owners go on vacation when they've not paid salary. So I know that there's that option available, but still you have to make sure that your people are happy. If not, your business is going to fail.
Yeah.
And if your business fails, what customers are you retaining?
Yeah.
Essentially. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, Amanda. I mean, you've given us a lot of food for thought. You've given us a lot of insight on what it takes to retain customers in a service-based business on a B2B level. Um, so yeah, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being here. If there
Thank
are
you.
any questions, I can't see any questions. I mean, we've got some nice comments, but if there are
Oh,
any questions, now would be the time to ask um Lady Amanda before she goes up to her busy life. We
okay.
we always thank Amanda because on a normal day she's always so super busy. Like her phone is always ringing.
Well, well, I'm really happy to be doing this. Just to mention, So it's something that I'm passionate about, and I like that Tolani chose this topic, and I like that we ended it with talking about people. So yeah, just to say that I would normally I've been plugging in all my customers. So this is, since you guys are not asking questions, so I have to plug in the person who made my fit. So it's called Go Chick on Instagram. So another thing that you would
Oh,
notice,
I know them.
oh,
Oh, I know them. We had a consulting session.
oh no, it's a girl. I think we have the bag. It's Go Chick. So it's so I like to patronize a lot of other SMEs, because what you would notice is that you are creating an ecosystem. So that's another tip that I would say that is good for customer retention. So if you're doing your marketing, you should also sort of target businesses that would benefit from your services. And like, for example, with Tolani and I have secured a lifetime customer based on our relationship. So if you also approach businesses that you personally patronize, it also helps to keep the customer longer. How can one solve the challenges?
Maybe Damilola is asking, how can one resolve challenges to customer retention, like customers interested in only one-time purchase?
Wait, but let me ask. So, Mary, like, what items are you talking about? I want to know what it is that I would only purchase one time. Not to be offensive, but is it land?
Yeah, I mean, I can give an example. We at Halisi, we have our business plan services are a one-time purchase, uh,
Mm,
sort of. So in that situation, like you did, I mean, I feel like you answered this question already at the beginning. When customers come to you for a service, and you are a value provider, you're a service provider, you're
yeah.
providing solutions for them, and you want to retain that customer continuously, you're going to think of what other problems does this customer have that I can solve with, that follows the line of my business and my mission, and offer the other services. That is what I think, is the answer to this question. That's just my own
You're
perspective.
right. So it's very rare. So why I asked the type of business is it's very rare, very, very rare to have a business that is strictly one time. Maybe even if you say I was going to use like
That's
a
true.
bad example, but I wouldn't. So I was going to say that there are very few businesses that are just one off. So for example, with Halisi Consult, they might do like a business plan, and that's at the start of the customer's business journey. But in between, the person might need digital marketing.
Mm-hmm.
The person might want to do well on social media or build their social media following. So Halisi will be able to offer that. So, like for example, now the only time, so if I buy something from a vendor that I like the dress, it's very, 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 very rare that I only patronize that person once. So if I find a vendor that I only patronize once for that piece of clothing or that item, that means there was a problem. So another way that you can resolve your challenges to customer retention is going back to your old customers and asking, you know, what's the feedback, what's the service. There's someone that I ordered like a lot of stuff from because their Instagram pictures were really nice, and by the time the items came they were horrible and I couldn't even wear them. I just left them in the bag. So one thing about that, maybe because this person gets so many orders she might not notice, but if you do not have a returning customer for something that it is that you do, I think it's best that you go back and have a conversation. So maybe, for example, that particular batch of items did not go through her normal quality assurance because this is someone that is quite popular. So maybe that particular batch she didn't look at. So if she calls and say, "Oh hi, I noticed that you ordered from us, but you never came back," and I'll say, "Well, this is what I noticed. I also ordered a white dress and it came so." So she might now put a policy in place that says, "Okay, well, once this person orders anything that is white, anyone, we need to dry clean before we deliver." So going back to your clients also helps. Another person that I might say, okay, it might be difficult to find repeat customers, maybe furniture, moving into a new house. But I will tell you that
But you would
it's
get referrals.
it's difficult not to have people return if they really enjoyed your service. So the
Yeah.
first way to go about this is to go get feedback. Get feedback. The furniture people that I've seen stuff is nice, but you now have the option of now keeping them for a long time and enjoying it. If I don't enjoy your product, I might not buy it the second time, but I might not even tell somebody else. But if someone comes and sees something that is even nice, I'm like, I want to use that. God, like, I beg, her wahala was too much just to order. So there are two different ways to go about it. I might not need something again, but I might say, okay, you know, like
Yeah.
refer them to somebody else.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Um, There's a saying that if somebody delivers bad service to you, you're probably going to talk about it 10 times. But if they deliver good service, you talk about it maybe 5 times. And
But
out
you might
of
never
that,
talk about it.
sorry,
You might never even talk about it because good is expected,
bad
bad is
is
thing that you need to raise
it's,
alarm for.
it's just material, so you're going to
It's
talk about
just
it all the time.
material. It's just
Yeah,
material.
so I think the most important thing is to deliver good service. And sometimes we have had situations at Halisi that we don't even pitch other services to clients. Like maybe we offer business plan and it was so great that in between the business plan service as is proceeding, client come back and say, okay, you know what, I want you guys to do this other thing for me. And and that's it. Do you understand? So, like, even the clients themselves are coming to come and create service within your organization that I want you to do this thing for me. So, I
They just
think
don't want the engagement to end.
they don't want it to end. They're loving the service. So, the
Yeah.
most important thing, I think, at the basic, the bare minimum is to deliver quality service. That's probably the number one way to retain your customers. Anyway, thank you so much, Amanda, for your
Thank
time.
you. Thank you, everyone.
Obviously, everyone in the comments loved it. So, yeah, I'm very happy that we did this. Just in case for all the people that made it to the end of this session, Amanda and I, this our friendship was established in I think 2007. Was it 2007 or 2008?
I feel very old. 2000.
We were like 16. I don't get.
Okay.
So
2007. Yeah, 2007.
established 2007, and we've been coming together from undergrad to masters to business owners. We have one more question.
In customer retention, can you really ignore emotion? Please, you should leave your emotions at home for your loved ones and your friends, like not in business. So,
Amanda,
like,
really
no, but it's true.
manage emotion in customer retention? Yeah, I guess that's a
Take
valid question.
yourself out of the equation. Like, take yourself completely out of the equation. So, like, there are certain times for me that I've had to exert myself, but I don't think that if you're offering a business, you need to take things personally. Once someone comes and they don't like your service or something, reply as simply as possible. They don't know you. It's 100% not about you, except you're one of those people that would be rude from the beginning, but they just want to buy shoes, they want to buy slippers, they want to continue their day. So if someone comes to you with like an emotional barrage in the middle of buying something, then you know clearly that it is not about you. That I get really confused when I see people going back to back with like a vendor, except you're trying to scam me. If there was a particular one, but other than that, like no, keep your emotions at home. It's work. I tell my riders this all the time because I think I've had a situation once where one rider was calling like, oh, somebody was rude to them, blah 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 blah, and I said, does she know your house? Like, I don't understand. Is this not work for you?
I
Like,
guess you say that working with men when they are used to being the man of the house, and then they have to provide services to women, and they feel like, okay, this person spoke to me in a way that I don't like. I think you get that as well when when you enter an Uber and the man is like,
oh no, you get that even from your personal driver when you hire them. So it's not even about that. But I'm very clear about what is work and what is not work. In my personal life, there are lots of things that I would definitely not tolerate. But you are offering a service. It's not for the money. Are you not working? Like, is it not for something? Like, are they going to come and live with you after they upset you? Like, it's most likely by the phone. Like, you're never going to see this person. Or even if you do, and it's a physical thing, you will never be right in that conversation. No matter what, you will never be right because you're in the service business. There has to be a way to conduct yourself. Even if someone is being hysterical, take a step back. Just like take a step back and just be like, okay, this is not about me. This person came to a store. They're having a bad day. And it's just even like when you go to all these theme parks or places in the UK. Do you know? I just thought about it. Do you know that people wake up every day? You might be sad, you might be depressed, you might be owing money, but they go to Disneyland and they are singing and dancing with your children.
no matter
Like
what,
whatever
that's a
it is,
difficult job.
drop it.
You
Drop
have
it when you're going to work. Like just drop it. It's
to
work. Just drop it. It's work. You know.
say
That's
thank
how
you.
I see it. Thank you.
Thank you, Gabriel, for that question. That took us to a different angle, but yes. Thank you so much, Amanda, for your time for doing this. I'm sure you have 100 messages already on your phone. But it was great to do this. Thank you so much for your time, babe.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you so much. All right. Bye, people.
Do you have any last messages? Do you have anybody you want to?
Um. Last message, follow us on Instagram, messenger.ng. I am Amanda Etuk on Instagram as well. And don't forget to contact Tolani Thomas on Halisi Consults for any of your business development, business needs. Peace.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. So you guys, you heard her. Until our next webinar, until our next live webinar, which will be very interesting. But yeah, very grateful, very thankful to Amanda for her time. I think today's session was amazing. There's so many insights, so many knowledge dropping. But yes, again, my name is Tolani Thomas. I'm the founder of Halisi Consults. We're a business consulting company, a business development company. We help startups and small businesses launch, grow, and thrive through our business plan services, our growth marketing services, and our fundraising services. You can always hit us up on social media at Halisi Consults on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Facebook as well, and on Twitter. Our TikTok is coming soon, and you can always, send us an email at hello@halisiconsults.com or visit our website www.halisiconsults.com. So yeah, thank you guys for your time. Thank you for tuning in and cheering us on, and thank you for all the great questions. Have a good evening. Bye.